Hey, this is Matthew from Poland. This is the fourth week assessment for music production at Corset.org. I'm going to tell you something about distortion and how to use it and what's the good and bad distortion in my opinion. Now, what a distortion itself is a clipping that can happen on the signal when we play it through a software plugin or hardware we might have in the studio. If we have a almost perfect waveform, the blue one over here, okay, and we play it through, we boost the gain of the signal first, and then we play it through software or hardware insert. And if the level of the signal on the input goes, or any stage of the hardware or software plugin, if the signal goes above the threshold that's been set, for example, in the hardware's case, by the voltage of the power supply, then the clipping will appear, okay? Because the processor can't handle, I mean, the plugin or the hardware can't handle the signal so loud, then it's cutting off its peaks, like this one here. In case of the red line, we have a hard clipping happening, and in case of the yellow one, we have a soft clipping. Now, this one is going to be more obvious for us. It's going to sound like proper distortion, and this one is going to sound more like soft distortion, saturation thing a little bit. All right, now as an example of bad distortion, I'm going to boost the gain of my preamp and my microphone. And here we go. That's the bad distortion. That's way too loud, and the signal is distorted in my preamp and my analog to digital converter. That's bad. As for a good distortion, I'm going to play a bit of drums for you here. And now I'm going to introduce the saturation, the soft distortion plugin on the drums bus. You will hear that the drums are getting a little bit punchier, but there's also another thing I'm going to mention in the second. Apart from the sonic advantages of this plugin and distortion itself, there's also another one. Now, if I play these drums without this plugin, okay, you see the peaks over here. They're actually going above the digital 0 dB. And that's bad for me. All right, I'm going to have problems on my the master bus. Okay, so when I introduce the saturation plugin, nothing goes above minus 3 dBs over here. That means that the distortion is actually clipping my signal at minus 3 dBs, and it's cutting off the peaks of the drums. I kept the dynamics of the drums. I didn't need to use the compression to pull the peaks down of the snare and the kick drum, for example. Instead, I used the distortion, and distortion kept my peaks in place. There is no overload on this bus. Everything sounds nicer. Now I also got some keys in this song, so you will listen to it with the keys, alright? Now it sounds a little bit dull for me. I mean, the keys could be more aggressive, more rock-like. Fortunately, in this plugin, that's a standalone DigiDesign keys plugin that comes with Pro Tools. There is a tube preamp function built in, and I can use this drive knob, okay, to boost gain and distort the sound a little bit, so it's going to sound much nicer. Now, listen to this. That's much better now. So, here are the examples of good distortion. Of course, when you're playing guitar and you're saying that you have your guitar amps high gain type and you want lots of distortion, that's fine. That's what you need. But apart from that, you can also use distortion in your mixing process, like let's say enhance the sound or make your drums sound better or your keys, whatever you want. Now, if you use distortion carefully, it's going to help you a lot, believe me. So that's it. Thanks very much. Thank you for last week's feedback. And if you have any questions, please leave them on the forum or send me an email or YouTube, however you want. Thanks very much. Bye.